All right, old school NBA fans, self-researched NBA facts. I got another video here for you. I want to say thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it, especially those that hung in there with me and watched the 8-part video series of my top 25 rankings. It was definitely a big project. A lot went into it, but I enjoyed it. I see I got some haters that come through, of course, you know, you're going to get that no matter what. But to the people that just don't have anything nice to say, good to say, positive to say, why? Why do you do it? You know, like, do you think I go to Nick Wright's podcast and say, you don't know what you're talking about? No, because as soon as I read the title, I know that I'm not going to agree with it and it's going to be a bunch of junk. And if you feel that way about my channel, don't come on it. I don't understand that at all. You have 3 choices. You could either leave a positive comment, say nothing, or leave a negative comment. Why do you always opt to leave something negative? I just don't understand where that comes from. Is it like a home life issue? Is it a generational issue thing? Is it, you know, people like confrontation, but only like it through the internet, not a real life confrontation? Oh, no. Just like to stir the pot and get people going. I just don't know where it comes from. I can't remember ever starting a comment, you know, thread on somebody's channel or anything that was just negative. I just can't remember ever doing it. If I did, I don't remember it. It would always be in response to something else or whatever, but no, never gonna happen. Because I know what it takes to, you know, it takes at least a little bit of courage to even have a YouTube channel, get your put your opinions and your takes out there to be criticized. So then to have people just come along and criticize it, these are mostly the people that don't have channels. They would never do anything like that because they're only brave behind a keyboard. But anyway, enough of that. It's nice to do a new topic for once rather than do the player rankings. But now that I've established who my top 25 players are, now I can, you know, compare broader, you know, more broad compared to what I was doing before, and I was always using the same players over and over. But now I have established a 25 so I can compare them. So what I'm doing in this video is I'm looking at players. What happened when they played a great player? You know, not necessarily a great team, but just a great player. You know, like how did Magic do when he faced Bird? How did Bird do when he faced Magic? Well, Magic won 2 out of 3. That's that one example. But, you know, I always find it fascinating when the best of the best go against the best of the best. So anyway, number 25, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He only played one player in the playoffs so far in his career that finished top 5 in MVP. That alone right there, just that fact right there, blew my mind. I was like, Giannis is what, 30 years old or getting ready to be 30? He's been in the league since 2014. He's played one team that had a player finish top 5 in MVP. Wow. I would have lost a ton of money on that. That was the finals, though, in 2021. Chris Paul finished 5th for MVP, and that's it. But if you want to go farther than that, say top 4 in MVP, Giannis has never played one in the playoffs. Crazy to me. I mean, that's just crazy. Nikola Jokic, number 24. He's played 3 players in the top 5 in MVP. All right, so yeah, Nikola Jokic, he played 3 players that finished in 3 teams that had a player finish top 5 in MVP. I believe one of them was LeBron James in 2020. One of them was Kawhi Leonard in 2020. He split with those, and then he lost one other one, 1 and 2. He's won 1 out of 3. I know that much. So not that much, you know. Giannis and Jokic, they haven't really played a lot of great players, you know. They just haven't. What can you tell me? I mean, Chris Paul for Giannis finished 5th, and you know he was what, 30, 536 back in 21, something like that. Elgin Baylor is number 23. Now he actually has played 19 players finish top 5 in MVP, but only 14 teams. So that means 5 teams had 2 players in the top 5. That's probably going to be, a lot of that's going to be Boston. I think one of them was the 1970 Knicks, probably would have been Walt Frazier and Willis Reed. But he's only won 2 of those series and lost 12. So, we got a lot of losing there for sure. But always to superior teams, almost all, he didn't really get upset much. But almost always, Elgin Baylor got beat by a superior team. He didn't really upset anybody. And if he would have had a couple more of those, man, Baylor would have been much higher. What a great player he was. Number 22, David Robinson. Now, Robinson played a total of 7, which that means one team had 2 top 5. That was, I think, Kobe and Shaq in 2002. And he played 6 teams. He won 2, lost 4, but he was 0-3 before Tim Duncan got there. Now, a lot of you guys that thought Robinson should have been a little higher, well, this is one of those things. Individual player, Robinson easily is a top 20 player, no question. But before Tim Duncan got there, he did leave a lot to be desired. He had good regular season success, no doubt about it. But in the playoffs, he got beat every year, regularly. I think he only made the one conference finals once, but in his 3 shots at beating a top 5 player at MVP, he lost all 3 before Duncan got there. And even with Duncan, he was 2-4. Number 21, Bob Pettit. He had 14 players. He played against 12 series. He won 5 and lost 7. I mean, not great. I'm sure a lot of that was Boston Celtics. I think he did lose 1 to the Lakers, which had Jerry West and Elgin Baylor on it, but it is what it is. Number 20, Kevin Durant. Now, Durant's actually got a pretty good record. He played 15 series, or 15 players, 14 series. He won 10 and lost 4. However, he was 6-0 with Golden State. So you remove those years of Golden State out of it, and he's 4-4. A lot more mortal. Kevin Garnett played against 17 players in 16 series. He won 6 and lost 10. One of those was against Kobe and Shaq. Was the one series he had 2 players in the top 5. Karl Malone, 13 players, 13 series. He won 7 and lost 6. Considering the competition he had with some of those guys, it's actually not bad. Olajuwon multiple times, Jordan multiple times. He went up against Robinson multiple times, Duncan, Magic Johnson. Good competition. Shaq, I don't know if I mentioned him. He played Shaq twice, beat him twice. 7-6, it's okay. Number 17, George Mikan. He only played, the MVP started in 56, so there was no gauge at all. I mean, he probably would have been the MVP all those years, but top 5 in MVP didn't exist. And then in 1956, the first year, which was of MVP, was Mikan's last year. He played 20 minutes a game, and he played 1 series against the Hawks, Bob Pettit, and lost. But he only played 20 minutes a game, so it's almost like a no contest there. But anyway, Oscar Robertson, this one's real interesting. He played 10 total players who finished top 5 in MVP. 8 series. He won 1 and lost 7. 0-5 without Kareem. 1-2 with Kareem. 1-7 total. So I thought that was very interesting. I had a guy comment who said he thought Oscar Robertson should be above Michael Jordan, and I'm like, now when you only beat 1 top 5 player in MVP for your whole career and you missed the playoffs 4 times, yeah, I don't think so. Number 15, Steph Curry. He's got a great percentage. He played 15 total players, 14 total series. Won 12, lost 2. But again, also just like KD, he was 6-0 with, Durant on the team. He would have been 6-2 without him. Again, that's, not a bad record. 12-2 obviously is a great record. But again, with KD. Number 14, Moses Malone. He played 14 players, 12 series. He won 6, lost 6. One of those losses was in the ABA, and they had 2 players. It was Bobby Jones and somebody else on, was it Denver? I think it was Denver. And anyway, 6-6, that's respectable. Jerry West, 18 players who finished in the top 5 he played in his career. That's a lot. And played 12 series. That means 6 of those series he played a team that had 2 players in the top 5 in MVP. Wow, that's a lot. He was 3-9. He won 3, lost 9. And he had a lot of times he had a teammate in the top 5 in MVP. Elgin Baylor, then later on Wilt. It is what it is. Dr. J played in 16 players, 13 series. He was 7-6. He won 7, lost 6. So that's okay. It's not bad. LeBron James at number 11. He played in 13 total series. The top 5 player MVP, which considering he's played in 54 playoff series. That's less than a quarter of the time. He won 5 and lost 8. So to me, that's not very good at all. But you LeBron excuse makers, go ahead and go crazy, because I already did another video where LeBron destroys the 43 win Wizards or the 41 win Nets. Okay, hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, yeah. So LeBron James has only ever beat 5 teams that had a player finish top 5 in MVP. That's a fact. Look it up. And I'm not a LeBron hater. What I'm a hater of is the people that promote him and act like he's somehow so far superior to all these other players based on primarily longevity. That's basically the crux of their argument. When it comes down to beating great teams with or without a super team, because he's had many a great player. Like for example, Kyrie Irving would have been a top 75 player. He was supposed to be. He got voted in. I don't know if this is that common knowledge. Look it up on the internet. Kyrie Irving was a top 75 player voted in by the people that voted. But because of his stance on COVID and all that stuff, they went against it. And they kicked it. They decided not to. And I believe it was Damian Lillard who they let slide in there. So I'm just saying, LeBron has played with a great team or player basically since 2007, or at least a very good team since 2007, a great team from basically 2009, through 2020 at least, a long time. So I never hated him like that, but once he started the team hopping, the excuse making, the only playing it for stats, then it's like, come on, man, you're not as good as what everybody's saying. You need the media to push this agenda for you. You're not standing on your own 2 feet, just like, hey, my resume is my resume, let the chips fall where they may. That's not what's going on here, though. An agenda is being pushed. But anyway, number 10, Shaquille O'Neal. He played 18 players, 17 series. The one was against the 96 Bulls. They had 2. I think Pippen finished 5th that year in MVP and Jordan 1st. He won 11 and won 6. That's actually really good. Number 9 was Tim Duncan. He had 20 players, 16 series. So that means 4 of them had 2 players in the top 5. I'm sure Kobe and Shaq had a lot to do with that. He was 8-8, so 500. It's okay, whatever. Keem Olajuwon. He played against 11 players, 10 series. The one that had 2 was Kareem and Magic in '86, and he won that series. He won 5 and lost 5, which I think is great for a player like Kareem who didn't really have any help. I mean, that's the same as Tim Duncan, 5 and 5. That's awesome. Wilt Chamberlain, 21 players, 15 series. He won 7 and lost 8. Actually better than I thought he was going to do, but under 500 nonetheless. It is what it is. Larry Bird, at number 6, played against 16 players in 14 series. He won 8 and lost 6. Not bad. Over 500, not bad. You know, for a team as good as Bird's, you know, whatever, but hey, 8 and 6. It is what it is. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, another person people is in the GOAT conversation. He played again 19 series that had that. Okay? 19 players, 15 series. He won 7 and lost 8. So, to me, that means that he lost more to top 5 players in the MVP than he won. So, there you go. Kobe Bryant at number 4, played against 19 players in 19 series, won 11, lost 8. So, decent, pretty good. Magic Johnson played in 13. He had 2 where the players finished in top 5. One of them was against the super team, the 83 76ers. In 11 series, he won 5 and lost 6, which is, meh. Number 2, Bill Russell, 26 players, 25 series, 24 and 1. Clearly the best record. At number 1, Michael Jordan, 18 players, 17 series. He played. A player finished top 5 in MVP. He was 13 and 4. So he played 17 series, which is more than Magic, more than Kareem, more than Bird, more than Wilt, more than Hakeem, more than Duncan, the same as Shaq, more than LeBron, more than Dr. J, more than Jerry West, more than Moses, more than Curry, more than Oscar, more than Mikan, more than Karl Malone, more than Kevin Garnett, more than Kevin Durant, more than Bob Pettit, more than David Robinson, more than Elgin Baylor or Nikola Jokic or Giannis. That means because Michael Jordan played in 17 series with a player in the top 5, only Bill Russell and Kobe Bryant had more. Kobe was second, 11 and 8. He tied Shaq for third. So Shaq and Jordan had 17 each. Kobe had 19, and Bill Russell had 25. Jordan had 17, and Russell had 25. So that means of all the top 25 on this list, Jordan was tied for third, playing the most top 5 players in MVP. What can you say? So anyway, that's it for this video. Very happy to talk about something other than rankings, even though I do have my ranked players on here. A topic I never hear mentioned, but to me, this goes right to the heart of, do you play against good players? Did you play against good players, yes or no? This is telling. This is, one more angle you can look at. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.